Now, on Saturday, David Murathe, who is a very close ally of President Uhuru Kenyatta, shocked the entire country by endorsing Raila Odinga for the presidency in 2022. David Murathe is not your ordinary politician. David Murathe is the Jubilee vice chairperson. So the endorsement by David Murathe is actually significant, politically speaking, in this country. And David Murathe termed it a Mandela's moment. And yesterday, Koto Secretary General Ndugu Francis Atwoli also hosted David Murathe, James Orengo, and other political strategists at his residence in Kajiado. And Francis Atwoli also used the occasion to endorse Raila Odinga. And the question which Kenyans are currently asking is just one. Is the system fronting Raila Odinga? Because for a very long time, these guys actually feared coming out to endorse Raila Odinga. And now all of them are coming out to officially endorse Raila Odinga. So is the country ready for Raila Odinga? And I listened very closely to the statement by Francis Atwoli. It was within less than 2 minutes. And within those 2 minutes, Atwoli explained 5 key reasons why he's endorsing Raila Odinga. So I want you guys to listen to Francis Atwoli's statement very carefully. Then after that, I want to dissect the key points which I picked from Francis Atwoli's statement. But before we do that, if you're watching this video for the first time, please just take a second, click subscribe button and the notifications so that next time we produce a video like this, you will get notified. Now listen in to Francis Atwoli.
No, actually, sometimes we compare notes on Sundays. It's not a political gathering or anything of that kind, but normally we can have lunch together, discuss issues, political issues, social issues, economic issues. But I have also received a lot of calls because people know, Kenyans know, Murathe is very close to me, he's my friend. He was a close friend of his father, the late, who had a very big wine shop in Nairobi, and very smart guy, the late father of Murathe, and we have maintained that relationship to date. And people have been calling me, trying to ask me, what are your views about Murathe's statement? Mine is to endorse that, because I would tell you what, it is only Raila Odinga who can bring this country together. He has created a big departure from corruption. He has fought for this country. He's now an old person. He will be caring, and he's a man who cannot apply political revenge. He will fight to bring Kenya together. And I didn't imagine that that would come out of our brother Murathe, and I think he has widely consulted. And I want to support and endorse that. He has mantle, he has supporters, he has suicidal supporters, that by 10 a.m., whoever will be standing against him or whoever will offer his candidature in that particular position, he must be well prepared, because as I know, by 10 a.m. in the morning, he would have won the seat as a president with the support of our brothers and sisters from Central and other places. And I'm sure he's going to enjoy mammoth support from all over the country. He has such fanatic supporters, and it's easier for him to bring the country together. Two, as I've said, given his age and the departure is created, he's not a man who wants wealth. He doesn't want to enrich himself. He's a person who would like to see these countries together. If it will take 5 years and prepare a leader for this country, good. And whatever will happen, that I know he will be able to manage.
Now, if you listened to Francis Atwoli very carefully, within less than 1 minute, Atwoli gave 5 reasons why is endorsing Raila Odinga. And if you listened carefully yesterday, if you also listened carefully to the statement by David Murathe yesterday, he also gave reasons why he was supporting Raila Odinga. And I explained those particular reasons in my yesterday's video on David Murathe's statement. Now, these are the points I've picked from Francis Atwoli's statement. Number one, Atwoli is saying that it's only Raila Odinga who can unite the country. So what is Atwoli trying to tell the entire country? Atwoli is trying to tell the entire country that in simple terms, Raila Odinga is the only politician in this country who commands a huge following. So that if he will be supported by, say, Central Kenya, then Raila Odinga will technically command the support of the entire country, including Rift Valley. Because in Rift Valley, even in the last election, there are specific areas where he got votes. So that's what Atwoli is trying to say. The second point I'm picking from Atwoli, and this is going to form the basis of the narrative for the next general election, is that Raila Odinga has created a departure from corruption. So from that statement alone, it's going to tell you that Francis Atwoli, being part and parcel of the people crafting Raila Odinga's presidency, is that they are going to use corruption as a campaign tool in 2022. So is Raila Odinga not corrupt? And is William Ruto more corrupt than Raila Odinga? So these are some of the issues which I'm sure they are going to put forward as Kenyans head to the next general election. Number three, Francis Atwoli also stated very clearly that Raila Odinga has fought for this country. And if you listened to David Murathe yesterday, David Murathe also alluded to that fact, which means just one thing, that Raila Odinga is going to be projected as the only person who's fought for the democracy and for the freedom of Kenyans in this country. And he has fought for it, he has suffered for it. Murathe mentioned it yesterday. Atwoli also mentioned it today. The fourth thing I picked from Francis Atwoli's statement is that Raila Odinga is old and therefore will be caring. What does that mean? I've always opined on this platform that the main reason why the system are comfortable with Raila Odinga's presidency in 2022 is that they have sat down and they removed their pens and calculated the number of years Raila Odinga has lived on this earth and subtracted the number of maximum years Raila Odinga can live on this earth. And they've realized that of all the presidential candidates, it's only Raila Odinga who can care about their interest. It's only Raila Odinga who can actually agree to serve for only 5 years. And this can explain why David Murathe was also referring to this particular transitional government as Mandela's moment, because Mandela took over office when he was old, and Mandela served for only one term. So basically, they are telling those who cares that Raila Odinga is old, and therefore he's going to care, and therefore he can only serve for one term. Number five, Atwoli is saying that Raila will not apply political revenge. And this is the main reason why Uhuru Kenyatta is actually dumping the deputy president William Samoei Ruto. William Ruto is considered within the political circles to be a very vengeful man. Remember, this is a guy who campaigned for President Uhuru Kenyatta for 2 whole terms. 2 times, 2013 and 2017. Assuming Uhuru Kenyatta will not support him. And he ended up winning against Uhuru Kenyatta. So that's the fear. What of people like David Murathe? Where will they go if William Ruto will become the president of the Republic of Kenya? Because the perception outside there is that William Ruto is very vengeful. I am told people like Fred Matiang'i and people like Karanja Kibicho are very clear that they are going to do everything within their powers to block the deputy president William Ruto from winning the presidency in 2022. Because if the deputy president will succeed, then they don't know how they are going to survive in this country. And number 6, Atwoli is also saying one thing, that they are sure that if Raila Odinga will get the support from the larger Mount Kenya region, then Raila Odinga is going to win the presidency by 10 a.m. And if you listened to David Murathe's statement yesterday, David Murathe was also very clear that now that's the message they are going to take to the people of Central Kenya. They want the people of central Kenya to start accepting Raila Odinga as a potential president of the Republic of Kenya. And of course, if you look at all the other presidential candidates in this country, without any emotion, the only person who commands serious following is Raila Odinga. I know there are people who supported Jubilee, they disagree with this. But apart from them, the rest, assuming even Uhuru Kenyatta won fairly, the rest of the country are actually supporters of Raila Odinga. So that's why Atwoli is talking of if they can succeed in getting the support of Central Kenya. But how can you interpret the meeting at Francis Atwoli's home? In my view, we can interpret that meeting in several ways. Number one, by the members who are present at that meeting. Who are people who are present at that meeting? There was James Orengo. My assumption is that James Orengo was representing Raila Odinga in that meeting. And the presence of James Orengo at Atwoli's home, basically, in my view, is to help in any discussions, any legal challenges which these guys might be facing. I am sure that after the Building Bridges initiative, we are likely to have a presidential advisory committee, which is going to be based at State House. And this advisory committee is going to be composed of people like Francis Atwoli, maybe Murathe, maybe some other young guys, but it's going to be formed. So Orengo is basically trying to help them understand legally what is possible and what is not possible. And also his presence signifies the presence of Raila Odinga at that meeting. The next person is David Murathe. Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga cannot be present in all meetings. So the presence of David Murathe, in my view, is the presence of President Uhuru Kenyatta. So David Murathe, whatever was discussed there, he took it in a verbatim and took it to President Uhuru Kenyatta. So that's how we can interpret that particular meeting. But why Francis Atwoli's residence? That's the other question that we should actually be asking ourselves. Because we all know that it's Ndugu Francis Atwoli's residence that gave birth to the Western Kenya brigades of Oparanya as the spokesperson and also of Eugene Wamalwa as the spokesperson of the people of Western Kenya. We also know that just the other week, Francis Atwoli hosted Peter Kenneth, David Murathe, Raila Odinga, James Orengo, and others. What was the motive of that particular meeting? Probably to bring on board Peter Kenneth. We also know that it is at Francis Atwoli's residence where over 40 members of parliament, senators, and governors from the larger Western Kenya came, and after that meeting, Ford Kenya, a coup was staged in Ford Kenya. So the meeting at Francis Atwoli's residence, in my view, is normally very significant politically speaking. And there are two people you can never ignore in Kenyan politics. One of them is Francis Atwoli. Atwoli has deep pocket. Atwoli has the ability to mobilize. We've seen him mobilizing several leaders to his residence. I've never seen any other non-politician who can summon governors, senators, members of parliament, MCS, and all of them attend the meeting without failing, and those who fail send their apologies. So it's only Francis Atwoli. But the question then is, why is Francis Atwoli the one hosting this meeting? And what is really happening at Ndugu Francis Atwoli's residence? In my view, number one is the residence has been turned during this corona pandemic period. It has been turned into a coordination center for President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. I've been to Ndugu Francis Atwoli's residence once. I can't remember, was it in 2018? I've been to that residence one. I've never seen a big residence like that. If you enter Atwoli's residence, you'll drive, then you get security. Then you drive, you get another security. Then once you enter the compound, then there is the main house somewhere at the corner there, and then there is the guest wing. And the guest wing is fully contained. There is a chef there, there's a kitchen, there is a bar, there's an entertainment area, there's a conference room, there's everything in that guest wing. And that's where he normally entertains people. it can host over 100 people without any problem, that particular guest wing area. And it's also very secure, huge tract of land. So it's easier for politicians to go and have meetings in that place without attracting any attention. I am sure Uhuru Kenyatta can leave Nairobi in a chopper and land in Francis Atwoli's residence. Raila can leave Nairobi with a chopper, land there, have meetings, and then they fly out without anybody knowing. So Francis Atwoli's residence currently has been chosen as the center for coordinating these political activities, the Building Bridges Initiative, 2022 general elections, the planning and the coordinations. That's why yesterday's meeting had political strategists. What were they doing? If this was just an ordinary lunch, of course, Francis Atwoli likes hosting people. So if this was just an ordinary lunch? Why were not any other individuals apart from the politicians and political strategists? So that's number one. Number two, I think the choice for Atwoli's residence is also informed by the fact that Atwoli has the ability to host guests without any problem. The compound is big. Apart from that, you can even take nature walk. Atwoli, that farm has even wild animals, so you can always go take nature walk there. And even when in terms of money, you can't host guests if you don't have money. Number three, there's something which is uniting Atwoli, Raila, Uhuru, and Murathe. That is William Samoei Ruto. All these guys are opposed to the deputy president, William Samoei Ruto. So there's one thing which is uniting them. Remember, the main reason why Atwoli and Ruto, in my view, don't see eye to eye, when Jubilee government took over, William Ruto tried to remove Atwoli as the Cotu Secretary General. But he couldn't do that. He couldn't succeed. Nobody can easily succeed in removing Atwoli. Atwoli will only leave office, in my view, because I know he commands a lot of respect amongst the workers. He can only leave office if he wants and after mentoring someone. So when Jubilee took over, William Ruto tried to remove Francis Atwoli from office. And that was the beginning of their problem. And then he went further and tried to remove Atwoli from, I think, NSSF board and which other board? Some boards there. And that's why these guys have been fighting. And lastly, the Building Bridges Initiative campaign. Atwoli's residence is today the center for the Building Bridges Initiative. If these guys want to discuss Building Bridges Initiative, they want to discuss any other thing, the country is locked. So they can't go to hotel. If they go to hotel, the media will always be there. So at Atwoli's residence, these guys can go and discuss these things away from the media, unless they want the media, like yesterday, they wanted the media to be present. And that's why media was actually in Atwoli's residence. But if they didn't want media to be present, then the meeting can easily start and people depart without anybody knowing what was discussed there. So in my view, the meeting at Atwoli's residence yesterday is significant, politically speaking. And in my next video, I'm going to explain to you guys why I strongly believe that President Uhuru Kenyatta will have no option in 2022 than to support Raila Odinga. And he has realized this. That's why he has unleashed Atwoli and Murathe to start testing the waters. I don't know what you think, but that's my take. And again, if you're watching this video for the first time, please take a second or two, click subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Thank you guys, and please may you enjoy your day.